welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be filming my review on the Fenty Beauty Galaxy eyeshadow palette. I do believe this is her holiday collection, but I only picked up the eyeshadow palette just because it was already expensive as it was. This is all I picked up, but I do feel like this is the star of the whole collection anyway. In today's review, I'm going to be doing 3 looks. In last week's review, all of you guys said that 3 looks is way more helpful than 1. So from here on out, I will be doing 3 looks with all of my reviews, so hopefully you guys will enjoy that. We got a lot to cover in today's video, so let's just go ahead and get started. So first and foremost, I'm sure you guys want to see what the palette looks like. This is such a stunning palette. I am so obsessed with it. Like, as a makeup collector, this is so beautiful. It looks like a huge gem. Like a huge gemstone. You have the names on the back. It does help out that on the actual box, it does show you which shade name belongs to which shade color. Even the box itself is already high quality. This Fenty logo, it's like you can feel the glitter. I just think everything about Fenty Beauty and me using it for the first time, everything just seems so high quality and really well thought out. It's a very sturdy palette. I feel like if you wanted to travel with it, it might be a little bit heavy, but definitely nothing is going to break. There is a nice size mirror, and there are the 14 beautiful shimmer shades. So for pricing, I got mine off sephora.com.au, which is Sephora Australia. It was $100 New Zealand dollars, and that is equal to 59 US dollars, and you get 14 shimmer shades. So to get started with my review, like I said, this whole palette has 14 shimmer shadows. Some people are gonna like this, some people will not like this and completely hate it. I feel like after what Desi and Katie did with Dose of Colors and all shimmer palette, I've been seeing a lot more companies come out with a similar trend like this, and it does make sense because I feel like most of us already have their favorite matte shadows that they like to use on the daily, and just incorporating some beautiful unique shimmer shadows is a smart idea to just keep it in one whole palette. I personally like the idea of that, but I know some people will not. The formula of these shadows, they are all a little bit different from each other, but I do feel like overall they are all just very glittery shimmer shadows. And for me personally, I have a lot of folds in my eyes, so usually I would stay away from more glittery shimmer shadows. I would stick to more like metallics, because metallics don't transfer on my eyes. With glittery shimmer shadows, there's a lot of fallout, so they do transfer on my eyes, and I do have a lot of folds on my eyes. So I would say if you were a beginner in makeup and you had a lot of folds in your eyes like I do, I probably would say you could skip out on this palette. I do feel like this palette is a little bit more trickier to work with, but I just feel like all of these shadows, all 14 of them, they are so different from each other. None of these shadows look exactly the same or similar. Like, they're all so different from each other. They're so unique. I don't have anything like this in my collection, and because they are so unique, I'm willing to work with them, you know what I mean? I do have to wet my brush to get a very high shine, but because these shadows to me are so beautiful and so different, I'm willing to like try and make it work, you know? I don't think the quality of the shadow is bad, it's just my preference, and that's just because of my eye shape. If I had huge eyelid space, I probably wouldn't mind it because there's gonna be no transfer with that. But because I do have a lot of folds, like everything transfers, so I like to stick away from more glittery shadows. The formula is not bad, it's just not what I would prefer. It is a little bit harder for me to work with, and I feel like it would be a lot harder for someone who is a beginner to work with as well. These shadows are definitely for more going out. The way these glitters look on the eyes, they are so eye-catching, and it's not ideal for like a workplace or for school days or like, you know, everyday life. I mean, you can, and if you're allowed to at your school or work, I mean, go for it, but I think for the everyday average person, maybe this is not the most wearable palette. And for the price point, is it really worth it to spend this much for a palette that you're probably not gonna use? But then on the other end, if you just love makeup, you love Rihanna, I say go for it. Because for me as a makeup collector, I am so obsessed with this palette. Even though I don't like glitter shades, like these shadows are so unique to me. Like this green shadow right here, like it's so freaking stunning. Like I live for shades that are like this. Like you don't see this often, like not many people will do this, but I live for these shadows. Like, I freaking love it. It just really depends on you, your budget, who you are as a makeup lover, like how much you love makeup. I am only giving you my opinion and what works on me and my eyes and how I feel about it. Every time I do a review, it's kind of hard for me to say like, yeah, you should get it, no, you shouldn't get it, because everyone is different. Everyone loves makeup in a different way, because I know not everyone does YouTube. Not everyone is gonna collect makeup and go out of their way, wake up early in the morning to get something. It's kind of hard for me to say like, yeah, you should spend your money on it. So that is it for my review portion. Let's move on to the 3 demos and also the hand swatches. So before we get started with look number 1, I want to show you my inspiration. I saw on Fenty Beauty's Instagram, they reposted this girl here. I will write her Instagram down below, but she just has like yellow and gold eyeshadow going on, and there is a light yellowy gold in the palette. So I kind of want to do something like this, play with some yellow and gold-ish eyeshadows, because I know yellow eyeshadows right now are like everywhere. It's kind of like a new trend. So I haven't done a yellow eyeshadow look ever on my channel, so I thought today would be the perfect day to do it. So since the Fenty Beauty Galaxy eyeshadow palette is all shimmers, I will be going into different palettes to be creating this look. So I'm going to be first going into my Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm going to take the first shade on the second row, and I'm going to use this as my transition shade first. And I'm going to be using my Sigma E40 as always, and I'm going to place this in the crease. And now I'm going into the Colourpop Yes Please palette, and I'm going to be taking the shade in Mischief, which is the matte yellow. Taking my Morphe M573, I'm going to put this very lightly over the first shade. I just wanted to make a little bit more yellow. So now I'm going into the Galaxy palette. I'm going to take the shade, I think it's called Sunburnt. It's like the yellowy gold. So this palette does have fallout, so I would recommend doing your eyes first, but as you can see, I already did my foundation. So this is my method. I'm holding the tissue with my palette. I need to hold my mirror, and I'm going to place that shadow all over my eyes. Okay, and then I'm going to be taking the fourth shade on the second row from the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to run this on my lower lash line. So for my lip color, I am wearing the Doso Colors Over the Top gloss, and then I'm going to take the shade Sunburnt and just tap it over the gloss and make it more gold. So this is a look number 1 completed. It's very simple with very minimal shadows. It's very easy look to achieve, but it's still giving a very bold statement because of the yellow shadows and the metallic lip. So yeah, I hope you guys do like this one. It's a little bit more easier and a little bit more simple. Okay, so for look number 2, I want to show you my inspiration before we even get started. So I saw this look from Samantha. It was a while ago, but yeah, she has a very dark outer corner. She has like beautiful pink and purple shimmer shades, kind of like a cut crease. I'm not going to bring the pink shadow out up here onto my cheekbone, but you know, the general idea of this look, I was obsessed with this. So this is going to be my main inspiration for today. So first I am going to go into my Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm going to take the second shade on the second row as my transition shade using my Sigma E40. Oh, and by the way, I don't have any foundation on my face. I just learned from the last time that there is a huge amount of fallout, like glitter fallout with the Fenty Beauty palette. So I just learned my lesson. I'm gonna do my skin after, but I do have foundation on my forehead. Now I'm taking the Colourpop shadow in Get Out, and I'm taking my Morphe M433. I'm gonna start building up the outer corner, and you can kind of be a little bit messy with this if you haven't done your foundation, because I am gonna take a makeup wipe and clean the edges up. So I'm just gonna really just pack the color on the outer third, slowly bringing whatever's left into the crease. And then I'm going to take the shade Cute Alert from Colourpop once again, and I'm taking a smaller brush. This one is from Colourpop. I think it's their small shader brush. I'm going to do the same thing but focus it into a smaller area on the outer third. And then taking my Sigma pencil brush, I'm going to take the Colourpop shadow in Razy and then really start making the V of the outer corner. And then I'm going to take the black matte shadow from the Jaclyn Hill palette, the slightest little bit on this angled brush, and I'm gonna just put a teensy weensy in there. So now I'm actually gonna take some concealer and I'm going to cut my crease. So I am gonna always explain this trick that I do. I like to apply the concealer all over my lid, especially if you have a lot of folds in your eyes like I do. This is the trick for you. So I'm gonna apply it where I think it's gonna go, and then I'm gonna look up, and then it's gonna kind of mark where the concealer would go. That way when you put shadow on top of your eyes, you won't get any transfer. So I'm just gonna go a little bit above the mark that I did. And I'm gonna take the concealer following my eye shape. So I'm gonna go all the way. Usually I would stop about here, but I'm gonna go further down. And then I'll take this brush, this really thin brush. This is actually a paintbrush, and I'll just go around the corners just to get the most sharpest line I can get. So for the first shadow from the Galaxy palette, I'm gonna take Space Owl on my Makeup Collective number 18 brush, and I'm gonna place this closest to the darkest shade. So I'm gonna mix Media Crush and Mars on Fire and put that on my inner corner. So now I'm going to take a makeup wipe. I'm going to take off all the glitter and fallout off my face. And then I'm also going to clean up the edge of my eye. Okay, and then for my lower lash line, I'm going to take the shade Razy on my Makeup Collective number 11 brush. I'm going to run this on my lower lash line. Taking the black eyeshadow, I'm just going to put that on the outer third, connecting it to the top. So this, guys, is a completed look for look number 2. The lip color that I'm wearing is Zuma by Colourpop Cosmetics. Okay, so to get started with the final look, I am going to go back into my Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm going to take the second shade from the second row and use this as my transition shade once again. This is my Sigma E40. I'm sure you guys know by now. And then I'm going to be taking the 5th shade on the second row with my Morphe M433. And I'm going to put this on my lid, blending it into the crease. We're just going to slowly create like a really orangey transition. And then moving down to the bottom row, I'm taking the 4th shade, which is the Matte Deep Emerald Green. I'm going to take this on my Colourpop shader brush. And I'm going to focus this on my lid, mainly to my lash line, and whatever is left, I'm going to blend it up into the crease. I'm going to try my best not to take it too high up because I always tend to take my eyeshadow way too high that you can't even see the transition shade anymore. So I'm really going to focus and just place it closest to my lash line. So from the Galaxy palette, I'm going to be taking the shade Extra Terrestrial. It's a beautiful, like, true green. And I'm going to put that on the center of my lid. That is a beautiful shade. So I'm mainly going to focus it on the center, and what it is ever left, I'm going to blend out the edges. So now I'm going to take the shade Sublime. I'm just going to take a bit on my pinky finger, and I'm just going to place it right in the center just to add a little bit more shine. Again, I'm gonna take a makeup wipe and just clean up all the fallout and just the edges a little bit. Okay, and then I'm gonna be taking the 4th shade from the 3rd row from the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm gonna use my Makeup Collective number 11 brush and run the shade over my lower lash line. So this is the completed 3rd and final look. For my lip color, I am wearing 3 Concept Eyes lipstick in Hold On and Urban Decay's lip gloss in Kinky. And that, guys, is gonna conclude my video for today. I hope you guys did enjoy everything from my review to the 3 demos and the swatches as well. If you did enjoy and found it helpful, please give this video a thumbs up for me. Also, comment down below your thoughts on this palette. What do you guys think of it? Do you guys want to pick it up? Like, let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear what you think about this palette. And yeah, that's all I've got to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye!